And I'm like, I feel so embarrassed and ashamed. I'm like, our bowel movements are like all over the floor. Like you have to warn them. And now the feeling of someone else seeing your shit is like so intimate.
So intimate, it's violating. It's the same with like a lady tampon. You know, I think that's very private.
I agree, but I'm like, a tampon for me is just blood. So it could be a pricked finger or you know, just a whatever, a murder or a child rape or something. But this is like, there's seeds and rice in there. And it's just horrific. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the shit burst, and he calls a plumber, and they're like, it'll be there in 3 hours. Literally, that's not even an exaggeration. They're like, it'll be there in 3 hours. And I'm like,
Pretty quick for a plumber.
I guess so. It's an emergency plumber. 3 hours. I'm like, I could go to a Springsteen show. I could watch Braveheart again.
Right.
To have shit all over your house. So this is where it's nice to rent. We sat in the living room watching the Bee Gees doc while he scooped our shit off of our couch.
He watched the Bee Gees. He's watching the feces.
The BEM.
Like,
Something. I appreciate that.
I loved it. Talk about innovative. I mean, they're up here, then their whole genre crashes. Then they find disco, they're the highest thing, and then they crash on that. It's pretty wild.
Can I give you 2 points about that movie?
Please, I live for these points.
Okay, one, I've never seen a documentary move faster. Like, I paused. They were 5 minutes in. They were already on TV in the UK. They never discussed how they came up with the name Bee Gees, which I assume is Barry Gibb, Bee Gees. That's my guess.
Three.
I know, but I don't know. I'm just guessing. They didn't go into the name or, like, what their child was like, how they went to Australia. Like, 5 minutes in, they were a successful band. Did you find that weird?
Yeah, I think that's the attention span with these kooky youngsters or whatever that is. I completely agree. I want the nitty gritty. I want all of it.
Yeah, their parents hit them. They were born of this kind of heritage, whatever.
Yeah, miscarriage, you name it.
It's still great. Here's my other point. Maybe I should save this for the Patreon because it's a little spicy. But
Oh boy.
the one thing I hated in that movie, when they were talking about how disco sucks, everyone hates disco, and they were blowing up the disco records from that part.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
This guy, they have a guy go on and talk about how it's all racist. It was racism and racism and this. But I'm like, the Bee Gees, first of all, when I think of disco, I think of the Bee Gees. I don't think of that as black music. I think of black music, I think of Stevie Wonder, I think of, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, the Blues, Chuck Berry. Like, I'm never, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong.
I think it was a black and gay thing. They were big. It was big with the black and the gays. It was very dancey. Whereas the white group, the white guys, are listening to rock and roll and, hitting ladies, taking their shirt off, and drinking a beer.
It just didn't fit in the documentary, and they were like, they blew up all these disco records. It was about race. It was racism, and they were blowing up random rock and roll records. They were blowing up Marvin Gaye records, which I've never heard that before. But I'm like, the Bee Gees suffered the most. How could it be racist? They literally showed the DJ being like, who fucking hates the Bee Gees? They were like,
That was weird.
It was just this weird, like, 5-minute racial thing put in. There was no other sort of points of the moment or race or sex. It just felt so weird, and I was like, but they suffered the most. There's no other act that suffered more. Where, like, they had the backlash. Racism. They're white guys from Australia.
Speaking of shoehorn, they got that one in there, didn't they?
It just felt like I was like, this is out of left field. Literally, they were in the outfield. But he's like, the whole thing was the whole anti-disco thing was fully racist. It was all racism, and I just thought that was really strange. I'm like, the Bee Gees to me are like quintessentially the disco Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Oh yeah, and damn good soundtrack, by the way. Like I'm not a disco guy. I don't want to do the dances, but you can't deny that's quality music.
Oh man, I love that movie too. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, great movie. It's also fun to see Brooklyn back then and how completely polar opposite it is.
One of the great character introductions of all time. If him walking with the paint cans, and he sees the lady and just turns and runs after her. And
yeah, I love that.
Meatball, and you want 1 or 2 today? 2. Give me 2.
Yeah.
Great movie. He's amazing. And somebody commented on my movie pod that Travolta sucks. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. Travolta's amazing. He's unbelievably good, I think.
I mean, he's a homosexual, but he's a triple threat. Sorry. It's dancing, singing, and a good actor. That's rare.
Fantastic.
And
Love
handsome.
them. Love Travolta. Anyways, just to wrap up, so finally the plumber comes, the landlord comes, kept ringing the doorbell, being like, we're working on it. But then the smell was so bad, it was coming up through, like, we could smell it upstairs, the whole building stunk, and then, like, everyone else, all the other tenants are, like, poking their heads up, like, what's going on? And you feel like, it's not us, I swear to God.
My shit's not in the shower. Don't worry. Keep moving.
just close the door and get the fuck out of here.
Get yourself a cup of coffee, sister.
But yeah, it's all cleaned up, safe and sound. Our showers never looked better. And, all good. But man, I'm not a weak stomach guy. You know, I love horror and drama. But man, seeing a bunch of just think about it, I could throw up right now, and I apologize for the squeamish thing.
No, I mean, that's appalling. That's horrific. I'm so glad. You got a hell of a super. I could see a guy going, I'm not answering this one. You know, we had you've seen my apartment. We're paying a pretty penny over here, and I've never had this before. My old super, I never met him, never talked to him, never seen him. But this guy, we had a drip, and it was just dripping down. And I was like, well, let me tell the super. I don't care about a drip. I don't want to be high maintenance, but I'll just tell him. And he comes in, he looks at it, he goes, shit, the whole ceiling's got to come out. So they spent days with like this crew and contractors, and they took the whole ceiling out, they changed a bunch of pipes. It took forever. It had Duvetine everywhere, and dust was coming out of there. And I was like, this is amazing that they just did this from a drip. My old guy would have been like, hey, you can't live with a drip, you wuss, get out of here.
I've had bad landlords and good landlords, and this landlord's the best I've ever had. He's like the nicest guy ever. He's always here, painting something, fixing something. Couldn't be nicer. Gave us some discounts at the beginning of COVID. There's nothing I'm more grateful for than how nice my apartment is, how nice my landlord is.
Now here's the big question, do you tip the guy at Christmas?
A landlord? I've never even heard of that. Should I?
A super.
Well, there's no super. He just does the shit. The super is how we got that downstairs. There used to be one. And then he left, and we took that apart.
Oh, so there's no soup?
No soup for you. Come back 1 year.
Forget it, let it go. Interesting.
You ever hear that story? My favorite story, I've probably told you a million times. It's not my story, but Colin Quinn, this is like 30 years ago. He lives in a building, and then the owner of the building comes and goes, Colin, do you think you could fix like a sink if you had to? And Colin's like, I don't know, maybe, I guess. He's like, we need a super. Would you want to be the super of the building? And Colin goes, Frank, I'm on Saturday Night Live. And he goes, no, I know. The guy, that's what people think of showbiz. The guy is fully aware that Colin is on Saturday Night Live. He's like, I know you're on Saturday Night Live. Do you want to be the super or not?
It's amazing. That's New York. That keeps you humble. You know, it's crazy. I know we got to go here, but I was a porter at a building. Isn't that, looking back, I'm like, how did I even pull that off for 2 years?
What's a porter again?
I think it's a nice way of saying a super, but I did everything. Like, I remember a lady shit up the bathroom. Like, there was shit on the walls. I had to clean that. There was a possum stuck in the aviation, or what do you call it, ventilation. I had to clean that out. I was hanging stuff. I was building things. I was in a freight elevator all day. I mean, I was at the boiler room turning wrenches.
That's a good movie, Boiler Room.
I liked it.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean, no offense to you, but when I think, hey, I need something fixed, I don't think I gotta get Norman over here.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I was on YouTube. I was Googling, what's a fuse box? How does this work?
Yeah, I mean, if I need a zinger or a punchline or a roast joke, I'll give you a text, but if my shit is all over the shower, I wasn't like, should we call Mark? Or
I appreciate it. I don't want that call anyway.
No, you don't. But yeah, we got to wrap it up. I mean, we're overtime here. I've said too much. I'm going to kill myself. But great to see you. Happy New Year.
You too. Good stuff. I'm glad your shower's in shit shape, and it's good talking shit. But yeah, well, you got any dates coming?
Yeah, well, I don't have much. I had one in February. That got canceled. I was supposed to go to Aruba in 2 weeks. That just got canceled. But I will be in Key West, Florida, February Valentine's Day weekend, whatever the fuck that is. Hold on, let me see.
14th, is it?
11, 12, 13. I'll be at Key West Comedy, Tom Dustin's Club. I'll be down there, and
love that. I heard he's got a new room.
Yeah, new room. He owns the place. Him and our buddy Joe, they bought it, got a whole thing going. So I'm excited to go down there. And then March, I've had Side Splitters. I forget which weekend that is because I'm a bad businessman, but I think